Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear, all of you can hear me well. So let us start. Welcome to the world of data science. So I'm really glad to be here today to be able to talk about all of this with you people. It initially started, let me just give us a brief introduction how this all started. It initially started when we were at college, at our college, Chennai Mathematical Institute, and we were having a discussion about how more people need to be involved in the whole world of data science. And so, being students of data science and being students of CMI itself, we thought that we should proceed and make this world open to everybody else. So, so let us start. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes and we'll start off with the stream. Before that, I proceed, I would like to let you know that today's topic is more about how data science is involved in our lives and how more and more people, more and more trending things and everything need data science. So I guess we'll wait for some time. Okay, so let us begin. Today, in this world of data, in this world of technology, we come across anything that we come across is data. So you go to a shop, you want to buy an item, you ask the price. That's data for you. You go to a car, you go to refuel your car. You ask the person to refill your car. He asks how much quantity do you want fuel. That's data for you. Anything and everything that you do in today's world is data. So why data science? What is this hype about data science? Suddenly, what is data science? So let us get into it. Okay. So initially, what we look at, data science has been the terminology being used everywhere and are all around every place. So why? What is this data science and why we are looking at this inflated balloon called data science? If you look at all the newspapers, you come across these articles each and every day. See, high demand of soaring salaries. 75 lakhs per annum people are getting in data science. Why? Why is that so? 8 out of 10 fastest growing jobs in India are in the technology sector. And out of which, if you notice that we have three data science related courses: machine learning, data scientist, big data developer. Why is that? Why that is the highest paying salary jobs? Going big on data. Data scientists now earn more than CAs. CAs used to be the most lucrative jobs ever. But now data scientists are earning much more. If you look at the comparison, a CA used to earn a CA earns like 8 to 15 lakhs per annum, whereas a data scientist earns 75 lakhs. That's humongously a lot, exponentially more. So why this? So let us get into it. So what is data science? Let's go for the Wikipedia definition first. What Wikipedia thinks of it. Data science is defined by Wikipedia as an interdisciplinary field that uses scientific methods, processes, algorithms, and systems to extract knowledge and insights from structured and unstructured data. What do we understand by this? So, as Wikipedia says, that data science is basically nothing but an amalgamation of various methods and processes that help us understand data. In far more layman terms, let's say data science is nothing but applying all methods to your all weapons that you have in your arsenal to extract information from a data. Let's say it's like a torture technique that you do to the data to get extract all the necessary information you need. Okay, so let us look at what pursuits of data. We have a data scientist needs to know computer. He needs to be well adept with all everything computer. A data scientist needs to know, he needs to be well versed in maths and statistics. Of course, data scientists need to be too good in maths and statistics because all the underlying algorithms, all the underlying methods, all the underlying processes have a huge dependency on maths and statistical methods. A data scientist also needs to have some good business and domain knowledge. So, by business and domain knowledge, we want to talk about, see, if a person, the data scientist wants to predict the stock market prices, he needs to have a good domain knowledge of how a stock market works. Because if he doesn't, then it makes no sense for him. He would not be able to draw any kind of insight from the data unless and until he knows what kind of domain he's working in. Data science is a concept to unify statistics, data analysis, machine learning, and their related methods. Many people consider this is there has been a myth, rather, let's say, many people consider that machine learning, after being a data scientist, then you learn machine learning. Actually, that's wrong. Data science is a far more superior subset than machine learning. Machine learning is a part of data science. Data science helps you understand the data. Machine learning helps you analyze the data and gather results from it. So, machine learning is a part of data science. So, data science again is a concept to unify statistics, data analysis, and machine learning and all the related methods in this particular domain to understand the data, basically understand and infer insights from the data. Next. So, why do we think we need data science? How much data do we have that we need a science for it? Okay, so let's look at a basic structure of how everything works. So, this is a kilobyte. Everybody's familiar with a kilobyte. A kilobyte consists of 1,000 bytes. Then comes a megabyte. Then comes a gigabyte. Each of the layers is 1024 times 2 or rather 2 to the power 10 times the previous layer. So we go on to terabytes, we go on to petabytes and so on. In today's day, it is estimated that around 10 exabytes of data is generated on a daily basis. That is huge. 10 exabytes is practically huge. Then comes zettabytes, and then comes yottabytes. So, do you understand that each of these levels we are exponentially going to the power 2 to the power 10? That's how big the data goes. Each is exponentially that big. So, by the time you are around exabytes, you are already up to 21 zeros after one. So, it's like a 1 followed by a 21 zeros. So, 1 into 10 to the power 21. That's how big it is. So in today's day, when you see that these kind of data are being generated, it's huge. We do need to process this data. Next, this was our projected score around 2005. That zero point 0.1 zettabyte of data was the whole data lake of the world. It was projected to rise radically. It was projected to rise linearly like this, but in sudden change, there was a sudden change and there was sudden uprise in the data market. The data available to us was exponentially increased. It increased manifolds. It was 8.5 zettabytes in 2017. It's 40 zettabytes in 2020. That is an exponential 10 times growth. It was huge. And this is the time, and we lack the resources to process this amount of data. If you look at the every minute statistics of a day, this is where we arrive. There are around 18 million texts sent every minute. 18 million texts. Skype users make 231,000 calls every minute. YouTube, there are around 4.5 million views on YouTube every minute. Do you understand every minute what kind of data is being generated? To process all of this, we don't have the manpower. We need the manpower to process all of this, and that is where data scientists come in. The need for data scientists is more than ever today, and this is why this huge data, this data lake, we need to dive into this data lake and get and analyze whatever we want. So to become a data scientist, of course there are certain requirements that you need. Let us start with the first one, programming. You need to have good programming skills to become a data scientist. Programming is the way how you communicate with the computer, and without communicating with the computer, there is no way you can make any head or tail out of data. You need, your computer becomes your most enduring entity. Without computer, you won't be able to do any kind of data analysis, and for that, programming is the only option you have to communicate with your computer. Next comes statistics. The role of statistics is far more important than programming, I would say, because programming is how you communicate with the computer, and statistics is like knowing the language. So, understanding the language is much more important than being able to communicate. So, statistics and mathematics fall as a part of understanding the language in which you make the machine work. Next comes machine learning. So, machine learning is a critical part of data science. What machine learning typically refers to is programming the computer or programming the machine in such a way that instead of you providing it the insights, it starts to develop its own insights and generates results for you as you might have predicted. That is what machine learning is all about. And data science and machine learning is an important part of data science. That is so because machine learning helps you analyze data that is in huge amounts, and manually it wouldn't be possible for you to look at so much data together manually and gather any kind of insight, whereas a machine could do it much more easily. So that is why a machine learning is one of the most important weapon a data scientist has in his arsenal. Linear algebra and calculus. You will get nowhere if you are weak in these two subjects. Linear algebra is the basis of all kinds of matrix multiplication and matrix manipulations you need to do while training various machine learning methods, various data science models, and a lot of things. You do a basic regression model, you need to understand what kind of linear algebra matrices you are working with. So is calculus. Calculus is used for understanding the slope and the gradients of a function. When you're working with machine learning or when you're working with high density data, what usually happens is you work with in a very high dimension of data. So suppose a data has 10 features, the data set becomes a 10 dimensional data. In 10 dimensional data, it is impossible for us humans to visualize anything. Us humans cannot go over the third dimension. So imagining something or calculating something in the 10th dimension, it is very difficult for us humans. So that is why we use calculus in extremities to understand all kinds of behavior that the function or the model holds. Next comes data visualization. The one of the most important parts of data is understanding it through visualization. You need to be able to put any kind of model, any kind of charts, any kind of visualizations, any kind of bar graphs, pie charts, anything to a respective data so that it helps you understand a lot more than what you would have initially understood by just looking at some figures. You have a data of the number of accidents happening on a particular road for a different time of the day. You just look at some numbers and some figures and that's it. That's where it ends. But if you have a visual data, if you have a pie chart, let's say you have a pie chart that shows that this area is the number of accidents that happen at night. This gives you a much better insight than just a table of numbers, showing what kind of frequencies and what kind of accidents are happening at what time of the day. So visualization is another weapon that you need to have to attack data. And the most important thing, intuition. There is, mm, there will never be a machine, and there never will be a machine that can have an intuition as good as the human brain. So if you're thinking something's right, go ahead, try it, make the machine do it, and but you need to have an intuition to work with the data. You just cannot come in and say that this is my data and I understand everything. You cannot. You need to start with an intuition, you need to work on it, and finally reach somewhere. Let us look at, so that was all about what makes you a data scientist. So let's say now you are a data scientist. What kind of career prospects do you have? Let's look at the Indian market. So the Indian market says that Indian big data analytics market is worth $2 billion. By 2022, it is expected to grow at a CAGR of 25% to reach $16 billion. That's a eightfold multiplication in the total industry. And do you think that in this eightfold multiplication, do you think we have enough manpower to substantiate, to supply this demand that is being generated? $16 billion. India and data science have become one of the destinations in the world for big data and analytics. It's among the top three. India is among the top three. So you can see that the prospects are huge. Let's look at Australia. So Australia says that in the year 2014, the number of jobs available was somewhere around 150. By 2019, the job rates peaked at 1200. That's a tenfold. That's from 120 to 1200. That's like a tenfold increase in the job postings. So that is huge. In 5 years, it's a tenfold increase. In another 5 years, another tenfold. That makes it a hundredfold increase. Can you imagine that this is the booming time to pursue and study data science? It's a huge booming industry. Let's look at some statistics that give us the data about how much experience. So in the initial years, the Wall Street Journal says that we have $80,000 per annum and yearly income for 3 years experienced data scientists. As it goes to 4 to 8 years, the salary goes up to 120,000, and more than 9 plus years, it's 150,000. You can see that we are making much more. Any data scientist would make much more than any analytic professional or any IT industrial expert or any software industry. This is because data science is an amalgamation of a lot of those fields into one particular compact field that helps you attack all kinds of problems. Okay, so that was about data science and everything. So, given that I'm myself pursuing a course at CMI, and I would need to discuss that what kind of atmosphere or what kind of infrastructure CMI provides. So, CMI, as most of you might already know, that is one of the best institutes in India, and it has a reach throughout the world, and many universities all over the world, from Paris, from France, from US, from UK, recognize CMI as a well endowed university. So, what does CMI provide in the field of data science? CMI offers a state of the art syllabus from experts in the field. The program is suitable for graduates as well as mid career professionals wanting to shift the data science industry. So, me being a personal student of the course, I I could not agree more than this. Like, we actually have professionals that come in from job areas, that come in from multinational companies, that come to us and take a 2 week course or a 3 week course on very specific subjects that would help you give the boost. that extra boost that you need in your CV or in your career profile, which would help you demand a lot more salary than you could initially have demanded. So these kind of small courses that come along with the actual coursework of CMI is a huge boost to your CV. The course structure is very well defined. So let me tell you about this, that since CMI takes people from all backgrounds into this course, so it is CMI's responsibility to bring everybody up to the same level so that they can pursue the course as equals. So sometimes people from the math background might have a special advantage over the people from the engineering background due to some of the courses they might have done in their graduation. So to avoid any kind of such features, what CMI does is CMI takes the whole first semester and slowly goes through all the topics that need to be well based upon to start the course from the second semester. So the all the machine learning and the machine learning, data mining, and all those courses come in from the second semester, and the first semester is kept to bring all the students up to a particular level so that everybody's at the same level and then they move on. So that is a brilliantly organized course structure. CMI provides amazing internship opportunities. So, as you people who might be interested might have seen in the course structure that after the second semester there's a mandatory internship of at least 2 months that and it has to be an industry internship. CMI goes out of its way to provide these internship opportunities to us. So CMI starts their internship placement procedure since the November of the previous year, and they go on, they bring in companies, they bring in really good companies like Accenture, Microsoft, and all these companies. They come in, they interview the students for internships, and they select with very nice internship packages, very lucrative packages, and they conduct the internship for 2 months where the student learns. And it is again a very big bonus to your CV that you can write that you have worked for as a summer intern in some big company, and later on that would count as an work experience and would give you huge boost. So the placement section for the internship is amazing. Next comes the placement, the actual placement of CMI. How does CMI fare against the other? So without going into much specifics about the details, because there might be some issues with the copyright with the privacy policy, I can tell you that CMI only brings in companies that have a more than enough more than enough lucrative package for job offers. So CMI had one batch that passed out in 2000, who will be passing out in 2019, 2020, and that batch is already placed before the start of their that batch was already placed before the start of their third semester, and everyone got placed, and everybody had an amazing package, amazing salary package. So it goes without saying that CMI offers one of the best placement packages after your MSc in data science course. But to get into this CMI, there is just one hurdle that you need to clear, and that is the entrance exam. So the entrance exam, if you might look there up, there will be two sample papers, 2018 and 2019, available on their website, and 2018 and 2019, yes, I was right. 2018 and 2019 papers would be available on their website. And if you go through them, you might find them that the mathematics is from high school level, class 12 level. But there are certain topics that need to be covered, like graph theory, and discrete mathematics that some people might not have, like from engineering background, people might not have done those. So some special focus needs to be taken on those topics. Other than that, you need to be well adept with programming and everything. Okay, so let us look at the core structure of it. So the structure of the exam. So the exam consists of 20 objective type questions, around 20. I wouldn't say exactly 20. It's around. Last year it was 18 questions and around 20 subjective type questions. So the 20 objective type questions that you have are usually multiple select questions, uh, not to be confused with MCQs. These are MSQs. These are multiple select questions where you need to select more than, there might be more than one correct answer from a set of four. So you have set of four answers A, B, C, D, more than one might be correct. So that is a part of the objective types. Then you have this is one type. Then you have true and false. Then you have one word, like one number or a one number answer. And finally, you have some logical questions. So that would be covered in the other topic. Regarding the subjective type questions, the subjective, okay, oh, I forgot, and you have some programming output questions here too. That's the programming. For the subjective types, the syllabus doesn't vary much. The syllabus stays the same. It is like mostly programming, mostly mathematics and programming part involved. A better look at the question paper would clear all the kinds of doubt, what kind of questions are being asked. The topics that are covered in the exams are school mathematics, statistics and probability. So school mathematics would consider your basic calculus, probability, basic calculus, your trigonometry, height and distances, all these kind of problems. Your statistics and probability would be like combinatorics and probability. Guessing statistics would be statistical inferences and data understanding. Then comes discrete mathematics. Discrete mathematics is a very important Discrete mathematics is a very important part of your data science career because you would be working with graph theory extensively. So your combinatorics and your graph theory would be coming under discrete mathematics. Next, we have programming and algorithms. Programming and algorithms, you need to just learn the pseudocodes. They never ask for anything more than the pseudocode. There's no programming language involved, but knowledge of more than one or more languages is definitely having a ace up your sleeve. And the next and one of the most uh, intriguing part of the question paper is the aptitude. So the issue with the aptitude is the time constraint. The aptitude questions might be easy or might be solvable, but the issue is with the time constraint. So a lot of practice is needed in the aptitude field to make this work. So that's how the entrance exam goes and everything. Now, the whole initiative of Mr. Tomar and me was to facilitate students who would be coming in and for to appear for the entrance exam. So we have designed a crash course. The exam would be somewhere around the middle of May, let's say 15th, 16th of May. And so the time left for the exam is 3.5 months around, and we are planning to we actually have planned to start a crash course, and we already have enrolled some of the students. So we are starting a crash course that would go take you through all of these topics in details. We will be putting forward the brochure and the course details on the WhatsApp group. And other than that, let me give you a brief walkthrough of our course. The course that we are organizing it's a duration, it has a 76 hours course. There will be a total of 38 lectures that will be provided via Zoom. A Zoom, for those of you who do not know, Zoom is a it's an online classwork medium where the teacher teaches the student via the whiteboard that is available from Zoom. Other than this, there will be total 38 lectures. The lectures would be divided such that the school mathematics would consider of 15 lectures, and Mr. Toma would be conducting those classes. Statistics and probability would consist of 8 lectures, and again, Mr. Toma would be taking care of those. Discrete mathematics has 6 lectures, and I will be taking those classes. Programming and algorithms has 5 lectures, and aptitude development has 4 lectures. So all the last 3 classes would be taken by me, and the first 2 classes will be taken by Mr. Tomar. Other than this, there would be tests that would be conducted every week or every other week. That what we have planned yet. We are still working on the designing the tests. We have finished some of them, and the tests would be conducted on a bi-weekly basis, and you would be need those of you who would be taking up the course, they would need to download the question paper, solve it pen and paper, and upload their answers within the given time. We would There will be a total of 5 tests, so that's what we have designed. And so that's it. That's all about our course. And if you need any kind of further information, I'm open to questions. I would be open to questions for another half an hour. You could drop me a text on the WhatsApp group. All of you, those who are on the WhatsApp group, can contact me on WhatsApp. And that's all. So thank you so much. First, let me introduce you to your mentors. So your mentors would be me, and this is my profile. I graduated in mathematics and computing. I started a company called Fractions that started teaching students for RMO, INMO, ISI, and CMI entrances. Then I worked as a freelancer for in the field of machine learning and artificial intelligence. From there, I continued as a machine learning and artificial intelligence consultant for various multinational companies. And finally, I joined CMI to pursue this my MSc in data science. Let's talk about Suraj. Has graduated from DU as well as post-graduated from DU. After that, he joined various educational facilities and he was there as a professional tutor for many years. Then he started his own channel, Adhyan Shala, where you would get a lot and lot of guides regarding what kind of papers we need to solve. And for various entrance exams, Suraj has worked day and night hard to make. He has even published books on entrance exams. And finally, now he has joined CMI, and we are studying together. And we are hoping to make more and more people like you come and study with us together. So that's what your mentors are. We would like to extend a great thank you for attending this seminar. And if you have any more questions regarding the course or regarding anything regarding of CMI, you're more than welcome to text me on WhatsApp. Thank you so much. I would like to end the stream here. Have a nice. Thank you.